Voice of Nigeria is taking significant strides to revive its terrestrial broadcast service. Recently, the rotational antenna at the Lugbe transmitting station in Abuja was officially handed over to contractors for full repairs. This crucial move is part of Voice of Nigeria's commitment to restore its global presence and ensure that our diverse voices reach audience far and wide.
This opportunity to thank the President and Commander-in-Chief, for giving what is today an unquantifiable support, not just to Voice of Nigeria, but to public media. So I also like to use the opportunity to thank the Honorable Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, for the leadership that he has provided, and indeed the permanent secretary and other directors of the ministry. Today, what we are seeing here, history is being made. Where if you look behind us, it's a rotating antenna. It's a national critical infrastructure which was installed by previous administration to position Nigeria as a leading voice, not just on the continent of Africa, but around the world. However, based on certain challenges, it stopped working. In the wisdom and the political will of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and understanding the place of media, particularly public media institutions, as a lead in creating positive narrative about our country, we are giving the desired support. So what you are seeing here today is effort, implementation of effort to revive this rotating antenna. This rotating antenna is the only surviving rotating antenna in Africa. It used to be two, one in Libya, which was destroyed during the Libya war. Today, as we speak with you, Nigeria is the only country on the continent of Africa with a rotating antenna. And so for us, this is very significant. This is very momentous. For us, this is history in the making. And as the Director General of Voice of Nigeria, working with my team, we're very determined, we're very intentional, and we are very focused on repositioning Voice of Nigeria, building on the legacy that our founding fathers built. And what are we doing? We are trying to reposition Voice of Nigeria to take its rightful place, not just as the Voice of Nigeria, but indeed as Voice of Africa. And when this rotating antenna is get back to work, which is why we are here, we are going to amplify positive narrative about Nigeria and Nigerians, Africa and Africa. And why is this important? Voice of Nigeria is one of the public media institutions which is a very robust digital platform. But we understand to build an inclusive media platform, you have to also carry other listeners around. There are over 60% of the listeners on radio are on transmitter radio, using transistor radio. Voice of Nigeria want to take the lead. Many of our listeners around Africa are talking to us, please, when will you bring back our transistor? So we are promising them today, but that the grace of God, what is happening here is to give them a space, give them a voice, give them a space to create positive narrative about, but others are busy creating theirs. And why are we doing this? The world is in the age of noise, misinformation and disinformation. And we are determined to be in the lead in shaping positive narrative about it. We are not saying Nigeria is perfect. What we are saying is that there are good stories happening about Nigeria and Nigerians, Africa and Africa, that will be very determined. And in telling it, we'll be very unapologetic about telling our story. Others are busy telling theirs. So here today, with the permanent secretary representing the Honorable Minister of Information, history is being made. And that is why we have mobilized all the staff, including interns and NYC, to come and be part of this history in making. So once again, I want to thank the President and Commander-in-Chief, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It will also not be possible if we don't have the right leadership, which is spearheaded by Honorable Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, with the permanent secretary who has left what he's doing here to come and represent the minister, who is right now in Libya, in Brazil with the President and Commander-in-Chief. So join us, all of you. This is a national patrimony. It's not about the Director General, it's not about the management. It's a national institution established by our founding father, understanding the place of Nigeria on the African continent and around the world.
So what's the coverage of this antenna?
And again, yes, the time frame when with this deal signed, when are we expecting this thing to take effect?
Yes, all that will be clear when we get to the signing. Say, what I will just tell you, these equipment are like military equipment. They are not what you pick off the shelf. It's not like going to a mall pick a bread or something. It's a very technical equipment that every institution that need it have to be very sure. Once we do the signing today, the next step is that is why the company, the leadership of the company and the engineers are on ground with us to sign. And once we sign, they are representing the company. The good thing that we have is that they are representing the company that installed this facility. So we are not starting on a zero ground. There are people understand the ground. They are representing those companies. So we are just assuring you that one of the reasons why we brought this here is that we want the world to know. But we want the world and all Nigeria to take track of what we are doing. We want to be transparent. We want to be very diligent in implementation process, which will be well monitored. We want to assure all Nigerians that this assignment given to us by the President and Commander-in-Chief through the Honorable Minister of Information and National Orientation and the management team of the ministry, we want to assure them that we ensure that we take this responsibility diligently, responsibly, with the fear of Almighty Allah and understanding that we are taking this responsibility on behalf of all Nigerians.
Thank you. Thank you.
There is adequate budgetary provision for these repairs, and we don't expect to see any abandoned project.
Gracing this momentous occasion was the Minister of Information and National Orientation, represented by the Permanent Secretary, Mr. Ugbodo Chinasa. His presence underscores the government's support for this initiative, highlighting the importance of media in promoting national unity and culture.
Today marks a significant moment in the history of the Voice of Nigeria as we commence the revival of the largest and most powerful transmitting station on the African continent, now equipped with the most modern, digitally compatible technology. As we take this giant step to flag up the contract for the restoration of Voice of Nigeria's shortwave transmission using the 250 kilowatt superpower transmitter, it is appropriate to express our profound appreciation to His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for his vision and commitment towards the restoration and modernization of the broadcasting infrastructure of Voice of Nigeria. Upon completion of this project, the fully reactivated Voice of Nigeria transmitters will transform the landscape of terrestrial broadcasting and position Voice of Nigeria as a respected brand in the global radio broadcasting for good. I therefore urge the contractor not only to execute the contract within the agreed timeline, but also to ensure that the highest standards and quality are maintained and clearly evident. On this part, the Voice of Nigeria technical team must demonstrate a high level of diligence and competence in supervising the execution of this project, as well as in ensuring its sustainability through an effective maintenance culture. In conclusion, it is my expectation that the Voice of Nigeria will continue to uphold its policy of being a pro-Nigerian and pan-African station dedicated to telling the positive stories coming out of Nigeria and the African continent. It is now my honor to formally flag off the contract for the restoration of Voice of Nigeria's shortwave transmission using the 250 kilowatt superpower transmitter.
With the repairs underway, Voice of Nigeria is set to bring back high-quality broadcasting, offering captivating content that resonates with all Nigerians and the world.